the work that we set out to do in Agora Policy is to ensure that we can bring a different dimension to how public policy is done, whether at the level of analysis, implementation, evaluation, in all of that, all those things that we mentioned at the Inception workshop, all those things that Dr. Joe Abba mentioned here, all of that will need some level of rigor. We need some level of evidence. We need some form of writing. You need to document it somewhere. And you need to know the format and the craft, of doing this. And we think that for us to be able to move the needle, if the work that we have done in Agora Policy, that many people have commended so much, no matter how well we do that work, if we're the only ones doing that work, we won't go too far. So one of the reasons why we're doing this fellowship is that we want a situation where many more people can do this kind of evidence-led policy making and understand that writing about public policy is a different kind of craft. It needs a different kind of skill sets. So that's why we have done this. And like everything that you start, because before this, we did a series of workshops actually, on policy analysis and advocacy. And one of the things we took from that is that, yes, you bring people together for 2 days, you speak all the BB grammar and Turenchi and all of those things, then people go away. But, why don't you get them to do it? Right? Let people, because you listen to something, yeah, it sounds well, you contribute and all of that, then people go away. And possibly that's the end of it. So what we set out to do with this is that, yes, we'll speak all those grammars, we'll talk to you about the frameworks, about the formats, about the principles, about all those things. But we also want to get people's hands dirty. Get people to learn how to do things by doing them. Not just by being spoken to and then speaking back. Let them. So what we set out to do with this is that, yes, we set the foundation so that people know what public policy is about, what the different skill sets they need to bring to bear, the different perspectives they need to bring on board, and all of that. But let them actually mimic doing this. So apart from the 2-day Inception workshop, we had 4 supervisors. Malam Bolaji Abdullah is one of them. Professor Fowowe, who's a professor of economics, is also one of them. Dr. Lina Hoffman, an associate with Chatham House, is one of them. And my very humble self, I'm also one of them. So what we did, we started with 20 fellows, and we split the fellows by 4, into 4 groups. And so each supervisor has 5 fellows to work with. So the first thing we did was that, okay, come up with 3 ideas that you want to research into. Right. You want to research into and you want to write about. And working with the supervisors, they settled on one of them to say, okay, we can work with this based on there's enough data, there's enough understanding, there's enough, we have enough flexibility with our work and all of that. So after deciding on one, then they have the permission of the supervisors to go ahead and do the research and the writing, right? Then they did the first draft. Then the supervisors read the first drafts, gave feedback, and then the fellows were now asked to do a second draft, a second and final draft. So this has been a very, like everything, when you set out, you never know what you're going to get. And I will tell you my own expectations. I'm somebody that worry a lot, right? And I think that I set my bar too high. And I think that, it's just making my life difficult. So for this initial outing, I'll be very honest with you, my expectations were very low. I deliberately said, okay, you know what? Let's just get people to come. Let them not just come and listen and go. Let them try something. But I wasn't expecting much. but I will tell you that I'm pleasantly surprised about what we'll be able to get. And I think you need to give yourself a bigger round of applause. You know, if you have approached this as, okay, yes, let's just go listen to them, get the certificates, and get out and put something on our CV, the outcome will be different. Yes, there were some bumps on the road, and it's also part of the process. We started with 20 fellows. We're ending up with 18 fellows. There are some challenges here and there, you know, and all of that. But, you know, going by the quality of the effort that I've seen, I'm not saying all of them are fine product yet. And please, you know, don't believe me. After this meeting, you know, these distinguished people that I mentioned to you, talk to them and ask them, that, okay, when you send your first draft to Agora Policy, is that what gets published? You know, sometimes we go on to like 4 or 5 drafts, you know, and we go back and forth and all of that. But I'm very, very impressed with what I've seen. Not just in terms of the quality of the ideas, but see it as the beginning, not the end. It's an end in the sense that the 3 months comes to an end, and there's the certificate. Certificate is very important, right? But in the real world, nobody cares how many certificates you have. It's about what you can do. It's how you take this forward. So please, I implore you, take this forward. If you don't use it, you are going to lose it. So it's not like, okay, because no matter what school you have gone to, no matter what certificates you have, if you don't keep exploring, you don't keep challenging yourself, it will be a waste. And I want to say it will not be a waste for you and for us. So please keep at it. And it's called a fellowship for a reason. Please also keep in touch with yourselves. And I'm sure that some of you, maybe you knew yourselves before. Most of you, maybe you are just meeting for the first time. And even in the group, maybe you are closer to some people more than some people. Let it also be the beginning of greater friendship, or fellowship. At the end of the day, it's you. You have yourselves, and you can start a lifelong journey together. So I want to congratulate all of you again, and I want to thank you for not just taking this as another exercise. Wish you all the best. Let's keep the journey going. Let's keep the relationship going, and we'll be on the lookout for you. And God be with all of you and us too.